Welcome to the Frank Lizzie Show. We want to thank you because this is our first official episode. We have an exciting guest with us. I'm your co-host. My name is Frank Avales, and
I'm Liz Faust. I'd like to say thank you to all of our viewers for joining us today. We're pretty excited to have our first episode sponsored by V-Tel. Today, I just want to say, first of all, Frank, it is so nice to see your face. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
yes, and actually, the last time we were at a conference, I'm going to let you start because I'm going to finish the comments.
Okay. Well, I think the last time we got to see each other in person, it feels like ages because it's been ages, was last November. We were in Sacramento for an educational summit together. And I believe you were co-chairing that educational summit with our guest today.
Yes, that was an exciting time because what we came up with, and you were part of it.
Oh, yeah.
We came up with a great, exciting course. And with that, things came out of there. You selected something called the 4-week timer.
Or the
marker.
Yeah.
So it was great. So thank you. Now, I do want to share with you that our guest she's very knowledgeable. And what I love about her is she's proactive. She's involved in so many organizations to help us do what we do best. But in one of her posts, she wrote that she's ready for global wound care domination. So go ahead and introduce our guest.
I know. We're very excited to introduce this rock star of the wound care world. She is a nurse practitioner and director of wound care at George Washington University Hospital. Please, everybody, introduce Kara Couch.
Thank you. Sorry, it just cracks me up because you two are dear friends of mine, and it's very lovely to give that intro, and we always have a good time working together. So I know we're going to have a great chat tonight. And yes, the goal is always global wound domination, right? That's where we're all striving to get that to that nirvana. So hopefully with what we talk about today, we'll give some more tips on how you can achieve that.
Yeah. So did you change positions recently, or is this just you were proclaiming that you're dominating everybody?
Well, I always like to think that I dominate in wound care, but I officially changed positions a couple of months ago where we have been working on integrating our inpatient and outpatient wound care services and have completely done that. So where we're all under one umbrella with podiatry, nurse practitioners, WOC nurses, et cetera, vascular. And so we have just a great hub of our services, and I think to the benefit of our patients. So we're excited about this.
Oh,
I love 2 months. That. Yeah, it's fun.
I love that collaboration. So yeah. I changed my position in the last few months as well. I used to be an inpatient consultant in like a level 1 trauma center in my area, and now I oversee the entire health system for our woundostomy continence services. So now,
go girl, go.
I oversee 7 hospitals, and it's been kind of hellish to figure out like who everybody is and what the point of contacts are. And honestly, I don't know how you do it. So do you have any words of wisdom?
I don't know, but I feel like the word standardization is almost a bad word because you're trying to get it. I'm only trying to deal with 1 inpatient hospital. I can't imagine trying to deal with 7. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that's the next rung in my my wound ladder. But it's really just trying to be as collaborative as possible and making sure that you are doing best practices, right? I mean, that's the name of the game, like keeping everybody to the top of licensed practice and just making sure that we are getting our patients access to what they need.
Yeah.
And Kara, something you mentioned, and I'm in awe to be on this stage with both of you because I work in a rural hospital and we lack a lot of resources. Actually, if you go back to 2005, it's a lot different. Now we have an award-winning wound care center, but back then, my resources were the actual reps. When they would come in with products, they would help. They were my voice. And with COVID nowadays, since both of you work in the big hospital, I don't know how that affected you, but it took a big impact at a facility like mine.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We shut down completely. I'm in DC And, come March 11th, I remember the day when they said, okay, this is our reality now. The world stopped, right? And we weren't able to get access to our reps as normal. People couldn't come in the hospital. And depending on where you are in the country, there's still a limitation where you can't have reps just come in. But whereas before, they'd be able to be there in clinic or be in the operating room or whatever. So it's been really difficult to get easy access and communication to all the different reps that come in. And, I was looking at my phone yesterday and I had 8 different conversations with reps just on my own personal text messages. And these are people that I know, much less the reps who I don't know that are sending me emails and things. And it's just been really challenging trying to keep up, because you still need that contact to be able to make sure that if you're applying a product for, like you're a novice with a product application, that you're doing the right thing for the patient, or if you're seeing a patient back in follow-up, that things are going the way they're supposed to go. So it's another avenue of this like new telehealth adventure. Like, how can we have better access to our reps so that we can ensure that we're getting the best quality outcomes for our patients?
Yeah, I think this virtual world has, really challenged us, but, this was probably a long time coming, in that, like, we depend on our reps a lot for education, for decision making, for telling us about new innovations. And I don't know, I feel a little bit at a loss without them, and then not knowing who my rep is, because additionally, I've been hearing of like layoffs everywhere, and I feel horrible because I want my reps here. It's like the pandemic really has us with our hands tied, but I don't think it's going away for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think we're in this for at least another year, because unfortunately, as the virus is mutating, there's different variants coming out. So, we're making great strides, but our new normal is going to be normal for a while, right? And, just today I had a rep in my office who was telling me about, oh yeah, well, there's 3 new people that I can't bring them in to meet you, but they're going to be your support. And, oh yeah, they've divided our territory, so now they're covering 4 states. So, it's a little worrisome, because are you going to be able to have the access that you once did to people that were, trusted companies that you'd worked with, pretty well. And it just makes it that much harder. And then if you're having this turnover, I have this whole box of business cards in my desk that I have no idea like what's current or what's not. And I hate it. Like, I just want things like on the phone. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Liz, every time there's a problem, I love when people come with solutions to help us, especially in my rural area. We finally got reps to be able to come into a facility, but then their bosses, their industry, their companies would not allow them. So it was pretty hard for a little while, but I'm not going to cry, but let's talk solutions. What can we do?
Well, I have to say that I did hear about this amazing app that I'm super excited for. I think it comes out in the next week or 2. It's called V-Tel. And Kara, do you want to tell us a little bit about what it is?
Sure. So V-Tel is an app that essentially is LinkedIn crossed with WhatsApp. So it allows for an online app platform for us to connect directly to reps of all of the companies that we work with. And it's secure, HIPAA-compliant communication with reps where we can, say I'm seeing a patient in clinic on a Tuesday at 11 o'clock, and I have a question about this product that I've applied or I'm trying to use. I don't have to worry that I won't A, know who the rep is, or B, that I won't be able to reach them, because within this app, I can send them a secure message and know that I'm going to have access to somebody, because it almost creates a call system where if the rep is, so I'm in DC, if my rep is in, West Virginia or like Southern Virginia for the day, someone else will be available to me at the point of time when I actually need them to be able to help with the patients, which is just like, it's like phenomenal. I mean, talk about like a game changer for us.
So it's like a rep on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but simplify it a little bit for me, because, as Liz will tell you, I even have problems getting onto Zoom. So, and then when you look at emails, I get so many emails that you lose track. So what are some of the advantages to this over things that are out there?
I don't know of anything out there like this right now where I can go from, there's individual companies will have apps, but as far as I know, most of them don't give me a direct access to my personal rep within my facility. And so with this, you can connect with everybody in the advanced wound care market and get your access, so that if they've had position changes, if they've had territory changes, that's not my problem to figure out. The company will put them, the appropriate person to, on call or have access to them, so that I can ensure that if I want to know, or if I need a question answered, or if I want to know about, a pricing or whatever, the regular questions that you have for your reps, that I get the access that I need in the time that I need it. And, I can't guarantee physical access to the reps anymore. So the days of people coming in to like see the post-op visit or whatever, like that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
So like, how do you move forward? Because the cool thing about wound care is that the industry and the technology keeps innovating, and we have more and more and more amazing products and devices for our patients, but we need to be able to keep up and, and getting to have access to not just the rep. There's information about the companies and the products all right there. So you don't have to stop and Google it on your phone or go to your desktop or whatever to try and look up the company and tell them, yes, I'm a healthcare professional, because like they, all that stupid stuff they make you do. It's already right there embedded within the app itself. You can simply go to the company link and get the information. So cool. It's one-stop shopping, right? It's great.
So then how does the company interact with you?
So the company signs up, and they are allowed to send you messages and ask if they want to schedule time with you. They can't just call me and, in the middle of my day, like I'm not going to get an unsolicited phone call. They can send me a message, which is great, because then I can answer it when I'm able to.
Right.
However, I can access them when I need to. So, like I said, it works out really, really well that I can also keep track of all the ongoing messages that we have within the app itself. So if I want to have kind of a run-on conversation with my rep about a certain product, it's great. Like I don't have to search through my text messages. If you actually have, like if the rep has my personal cell phone, which that's fine. That happens a lot of time, but then it gets all like intermingled. And I like a little bit of separation of church and state, I got to say, so if I can keep all of my work stuff in one box, it just it's a little bit better to, keep my personal life sanity and not have everything just commingled as a big mess.
Yeah.
So my question is, a lot of times, and I was telling Liz this the other day, that we had a hard case. The doctor says, I want this product now. So of course I'm calling the rep, but I get the rep is not in. Please call 1-800 dial 1. And so how did this work? Let's just say the rep is not there, or like nowadays, there's a lot of layoffs. So if they rearrange territories, who's going to call me back?
So the company will put somebody on call, so to speak. I mean, I use my phone as we have an app for our paging system within the hospital. I don't miss the days of having 4 pagers strapped to my belt, pulling my scrub pants down. Like I'm actually really glad that's over. So if we can do that within the hospital and know that if I'm on call from my wound team for that day, someone's going to get instant access to the wound team. Why should we not have that same access to our reps? Like that's just how it should be. So I think it's really nice, because if say the rep is sick or on a well-deserved vacation or what have you, you still have the comfort of knowing that you have access to someone that can answer your questions about their products and help you try and figure it out. So I think that's pretty cool. And I've done a couple of telehealth visits already with reps, looking at new products, like when we were super, super shut down and like nobody was getting in at all. And so this just like simplifies that platform and allows you to have that secure communication in real time right through this app. It's pretty great.
Yeah. And it sounds like this platform is like really clinician driven, like clinician based. So you're not going to be getting a lot of like harassing stuff either. Like I would get like phone calls like, hey, when can you look at this? Or tell me about you. It's like just all the like messages. And sometimes the product, it doesn't even marry like my practice, but they see wound care and they're just like, I'm going to talk to you. So I think that's great. So will there be like an expense to this, or is is this something that's voluntary? Like how do clinicians sign up? And
well, it's always going to be free for clinicians, and it's simply an app that you download for free from, the Google Store or like the App Store or what have you.
Okay.
It's going to be available the week of the 15th of February for clinicians, and it's pretty great. So, you will just be able to have that. And I get asked all the time, who's our rep for so-and-so? And I don't have to now be the person to be in charge of that and to know who the rep for so-and-so is. They can simply download it if there is someone that I work with, and they'll know if they want to know who the rep is for our urinary catheters, or like who's our rep for like negative pressure. Like that person's already going to be there. And I think it's just going to be a game changer for us from an industry standpoint. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. Exciting. So just a few weeks away right now it's the beginning of February. So February 15th is right around the corner.
It's Valentine's Day present for us, right? Woohoo!
Or President's Day, whichever, right?
That's true.
Well, that's very exciting.
This seems to be great for the wound care world, but I can also see this expanding to other markets. I can see pharmaceutical, I see orthopedics, I see. So is there a plan to move it across the board, or is it just strictly for wound care?
Well, I think we're super fortunate in that wound care is the initial market, but it's already going to be launched in the orthopedic space, which, we share a lot of similar contacts with orthopedics already anyway. So I think it's a slam dunk, but this is going to be applied across all different realms of medicine, even to include research and clinical trials and things like that. And I think that there's a big, gap where there isn't a product like this out there right now. And it's just going to serve, a big need that we have in order to maintain access, appropriate access. And, you were talking about like you're getting clogged with emails and things that you don't want. Similarly to things like LinkedIn, you can choose to follow different companies, and there will be a timeline that if you wanted to, they could put different information in your timeline about, new products coming out, pricing changes, things like that. And within the app, you could click on the link and it would take you directly to that information right at the time. So you don't have to, again, go back and try and do searches and try and think, where did I see that article about the price change or things like that? Like it's already going to be right there located for you, again, in one easy place. So it's going to be great.
Or you could contact the rep because you know who it is.
Exactly. And you got the right person.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Frank and Lizzie Show and joining us and talking about V-Tel. We're super excited for both the app and for the future of wound care and this kind of, I want to say peri-pandemic, because I don't like post-pandemic world, because I think we're kind of in the middle of it right now. We miss seeing you so dearly, and we're so excited to be able to see you in person again. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be your first official guest for the launch. This is such a cool idea, and I can't wait till we can celebrate in person again, because I love hanging out with both of you, and we have a good time, and we could talk for hours. So.
Yeah, and thank you, Kara. I think a lot of you, and actually, if anybody follows Kara on social media, you should see her dog in the snow.
Lola.
She is the cutest.
Cute.
She is the cutest. Yep, it was fun.
Well, thank you everybody for watching our episode of the Frank and Lizzie Show. We do want to encourage you to go to the APWCA website and sign up to be a member. If you do mention the Frank and Lizzie Show, you do get entered to win a $25 gift card. We also want to mention, Frank.
Yes, let's talk about this year's an exciting year for the APWCA. And I'm going to let you talk about the years. I was not there either before for this, but go ahead and tell them, how many years has the APWCA been around?
So it's our 20th anniversary for advancing wound care for clinicians by clinicians. And so we're super excited. We have a very interdisciplinary board. We're very excited to propel into the future and kind of catch up to speed with everybody. And we're excited to work in this interdisciplinary space. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you on our next episode.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.